engines exploding in parking lots, transmissions are failing before the first oil change. Fires were so unpredictable that owners were told not to park in their garages. This isn't an internet rumor. These are real disasters backed by recalls, lawsuits, and industry investigations. In this video, I'll uncover 9 cars and engines that will destroy your wallet, including Hyundai and Kia's Theta, 2 apocalypses that's still claiming victims today. Stick around because I'll reveal the single most dangerous engine recall in modern history, and why even Toyota, the brand built on reliability, got caught up in a $2 billion disaster. Let's start the countdown. Number 9. Nissan CVT transmissions. The $7,000 nightmare. Nissan has spent the last 2 decades doubling down on CVT transmissions, promising smoother acceleration and better fuel economy. On paper, that sounds great. In reality, it's been a disaster. These transmissions have plagued nearly every mainstream Nissan since 2003. Altima, Sentra, Rogue, Murano, Pathfinder, Maxima, you name it. Failures can happen shockingly early, sometimes as low as 30,000 miles. The repair bill? Up to $7,000. The problems are endless: shuddering, slipping, overheating, delayed engagement, or total loss of power. The internal steel belt stretches, the pulleys wear out, and the valve body often fails. And here's the kicker: used car dealers will often refuse to take high-mileage Nissans on trade because they know these CVTs are financial landmines. Even if the rest of the car is fine, that single component can destroy resale value and sink the entire vehicle. Imagine buying a used Nissan SUV with 80,000 miles only to face a transmission replacement worth more than half the car's value. Bottom line, Nissan CVTs are one of the most consistent drivetrain failures still being sold brand new today. Unless you're ready to gamble with thousands, stay far away. Number 8. Honda's 3.5-liter V6 catastrophe, 2016 to 2020. Honda has built its reputation on bulletproof engines, but between 2016 and 2020, their 3.5-liter V6 turned into one of the company's darkest chapters. This engine was used in family favorites like the Pilot, Passport, Odyssey, Ridgeline, and luxury Acura models, including the MDX and TLX. The problem? The connecting rod bearings. These critical components can fail without warning, leading to catastrophic engine damage. Owners report smooth driving 1 minute and total failure the next, often described as a blender full of marbles before the motor seizes completely. Initially, Honda issued a recall for 250,000 vehicles. But after further investigation, the NHTSA expanded the probe, eventually covering 1.4 million vehicles. What makes it terrifying is the unpredictability. These failures can happen at any mileage, from nearly new to well past warranty with no early symptoms. Once the bearing goes, a complete engine replacement is the only solution. Even if only a fraction of owners experience it, that's little comfort if your $40,000 family SUV suddenly dies at highway speeds. Bottom line, if you own one of these Hondas or Acuras, your reliable engine may be a silent ticking time bomb. Number 7. Hyundai and Kia's transmission disaster, 2021 to 2024. Hyundai and Kia's 8-speed dual-clutch automatic was marketed as cutting-edge, combining efficiency with performance. In reality, it's one of the worst transmissions ever fitted to mainstream vehicles. The biggest offenders are the Hyundai Santa Fe and Kia Sorento, equipped with the 2.5-liter turbo engine. Owners report violent jerking, lurching forward unpredictably, delayed acceleration, and even complete power loss. Imagine merging onto a busy freeway only for your transmission to decide it won't shift. It's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Some units have failed with less than 10,000 miles on the odometer. To make matters worse, these vehicles have been recalled not once, but twice. The first recall addressed mechanical failures, and the second, in 2024, focused on software defects that could cause a total shutdown. For buyers, it feels like a game of whack-a-mole where every fix reveals a new problem. Dual-clutch transmissions are tricky to begin with, but Hyundai and Kia's version stands out as one of the worst. When a brand new $40,000 SUV can't even make it through its warranty without stranding owners, something has gone seriously wrong. Bottom line, unless you enjoy breakdown roulette, avoid these models entirely. Number 6. Jeep's Fire Hazard Hybrids, all years. Jeep's 4xe plug-in hybrids, including the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee, were supposed to deliver rugged capability with eco-friendly efficiency. Instead, they've become notorious for one terrifying reason: spontaneous fires. Over 150,000 units were recalled after internal battery defects led to vehicles igniting without warning. Owners were told not to park them in garages or near homes because if the Jeep went up, the house could go with it. And this wasn't the first recall. Another 32,000 vehicles were pulled earlier for the exact same problem. It doesn't stop with fire risk. The NHTSA is also investigating reports of sudden shutdowns while driving. Imagine being in traffic and your hybrid simply turns off. That's not just a mechanical failure, that's a safety hazard. Add in widespread reports of electrical glitches and drivability issues, and Jeep's entire hybrid experiment looks like a failure. For a brand that prides itself on toughness, these plug-in hybrids became liabilities that owners are scared to park. Bottom line, Jeep's 4xe lineup proves that sometimes electrification isn't progress. It's a fire waiting to happen. Number 5. Ford and GM's 10-speed transmission fiasco, 2017 to 2023. When Ford and General Motors teamed up to build a cutting-edge 10-speed automatic, it should have been a triumph. Instead, it turned into one of the most unreliable transmissions in modern trucks and SUVs. Found in F-150s, Expeditions, Silverados, and Tahoes, this unit quickly built a reputation for failure. Owners report violent jerks, hard shifts, slipping gears, and sudden power loss. The core issues include faulty valve bodies, leaky gaskets, and torque converter defects. It's as if both companies took a decade of transmission problems and rolled them into one product. Multiple class action lawsuits followed, with some unlucky owners requiring 2 or even 3 replacements. Dealerships issued wave after wave of technical service bulletins, but the failures kept piling up. The repair cost? Often over $5,000 per unit. Imagine dropping $60,000 on a brand new truck and then replacing its transmission twice before hitting 100,000 miles. Bottom line, if you're considering a Ford or GM with this 10-speed built before 2024, proceed with extreme caution. Collaboration was supposed to bring innovation. Instead, it brought one of the worst reliability nightmares in the segment. Number 4, Ford's EcoBoost implosions, 2021 to 2022. Ford's EcoBoost engines were marketed as efficient and powerful, but the 2.7-liter and 3.0-liter V6 variants sold between 2021 and 2022 have left a trail of destroyed motors and angry owners. The issue? Defective intake valves that can suddenly fail. One moment, the engine runs fine. Next, it seizes completely, often while cruising at highway speeds. The NHTSA recalled nearly 1 million vehicles, including popular Ford and Lincoln models. But this isn't the first black mark for EcoBoost. Past issues include timing chain stretching, turbocharger failures, oil leaks, coolant leaks, and cam phaser rattles. This latest defect feels like the final straw. Repair bills often exceed $8,000. And worse, many failures happen just outside of warranty, leaving owners with no support. Imagine buying a modern Ford SUV or pickup and discovering your advanced twin-turbo engine is less reliable than a 20-year-old beater. Bottom line, Ford's EcoBoost V6s from this era represent everything wrong with over-engineered, under-tested technology. Innovation should not mean catastrophic failure before 100,000 miles. Number 3. Toyota's reputation shattered, 2022 to 2023. Toyota built its entire legacy on reliability, but the 2022 plus Toyota Tundra, with its all-new twin-turbo V6, nearly destroyed that reputation overnight. The flaw? During production, metal debris was left inside the engines. That debris caused catastrophic failures, often within the first few thousand miles. The result was Toyota's most expensive recall ever, covering over 100,000 trucks and costing the company more than $2 billion. The new V6 was supposed to replace the legendary 5.7-liter V8, a motor known to last 300,000 miles or more. Instead, it turned into a liability that left owners stranded and furious. Toyota promised free engine replacements, but the damage to their reputation is harder to repair. For decades, Toyota was untouchable in quality control. If they can even make this level of mistake, it raises serious questions about modern auto manufacturing. Bottom line, Toyota's bulletproof image cracked wide open. If the most reliable automaker in the world can stumble this hard, no brand is safe. Number 2. GM's engine shortage scandal, 2019 to 2024. General Motors faced an embarrassment so big it shook the entire truck industry. Their 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter V8 engines, powering Silverados, Sierras, Tahoes, and Yukons, failed at such alarming rates that GM literally ran out of replacements. The failures weren't minor. Collapsing lifters, spinning bearings, and total seizures sometimes occurred in less than 3,000 miles. That's before the first oil change. Cylinder deactivation technology, meant to save fuel, was the root cause of many failures. Instead of improving efficiency, it destroyed engines outright. Owners were left waiting weeks or even months for replacements, stuck with useless $60,000 trucks sitting at dealerships. Lawsuits piled up. Investigations expanded to cover nearly 900,000 vehicles. For an automaker trying to compete in the truck wars, this was a public relations disaster. Trucks are supposed to represent strength and durability, not fragility. Bottom line, when your engines fail faster than you can build replacements, you're not selling trucks, you're selling ticking time bombs. Number 1. Hyundai and Kia's engine apocalypse, 2012 to 2023. The worst automotive disaster of modern times belongs to Hyundai and Kia. Their Theta 2 4-cylinder engines, both the 2.0-liter and 2.4-liter versions, have destroyed millions of vehicles built between 2012 and 2023. These engines suffer from catastrophic connecting rod-bearing failures, cracked piston rings, blown head gaskets, excessive oil consumption, and even spontaneous fires. Some literally catch fire while parked. Over 50 recalls have been issued, yet the problem persists. In 2025, Kia expanded the recall again, adding another 13,000 vehicles for fire risk. The costs to owners are devastating. Replacing one of these engines runs $8,000 to $15,000. Many engines fail before 100,000 miles, sometimes as early as 60,000, despite perfect maintenance records. The 2.4-liter Theta 2 found in the Sonata, Optima, Sorento, and Santa Fe is infamous for self-destruction. The smaller 2.0-liter version in the Elantra, Ford, Soul, and Tucson is just as bad. Both are still being used in some form today. Worst of all, lawsuits revealed that Hyundai and Kia knew about these issues and kept selling the engines anyway. Bottom line, this isn't just poor engineering, it's one of the most blatant betrayals of consumer trust in automotive history. These 9 disasters prove one thing that most car companies will never admit. Not all vehicles are built to the same standard. Some engines and transmissions are designed with longevity in mind, tested to survive hundreds of thousands of miles with minimal issues. But others? They are engineered so poorly, rushed into production so recklessly, that they end up destroying themselves long before hitting 100,000 miles. For buyers, that means financial devastation. Think about it. A transmission that costs $7,000 to replace in a car worth only $10,000. An SUV with an engine so unreliable that dealers refuse to stock them. Trucks blowing motors before the first oil change. Hybrids that literally have to be parked outside because they might set your garage on fire. These aren't minor annoyances. These are life-altering problems that turn what should be an asset into a rolling liability. From Nissan's fragile CVTs to Honda's catastrophic V6 bearing failures, from Ford and GM's botched 10-speed collaboration to Toyota's shocking $2 billion recall disaster. All the way to Hyundai and Kia's fire-prone Theta 2 engines, these cases represent some of the worst engineering failures in modern automotive history. And the most terrifying part? Many of these vehicles are still on the road today. Some of them are still sitting on dealership lots being sold brand new, marketed as if nothing is wrong. So here's what you need to do. If you own any of these models, check your VIN against recall databases immediately. Don't wait for a letter in the mail. Don't assume your mechanic will catch it. Go to nhtsa.gov or your manufacturer's site and verify. If your car is covered, push for the repair. If it isn't, stay alert for early warning signs. Odd noises, sudden loss of power, unexplained oil consumption, and warning lights that don't go away. Early action could mean the difference between a minor fix and a catastrophic failure. And now I want to hear from you. Have you been burned by one of these disasters? Did your transmission fail early? Did your engine seize without warning? Share your story in the comments so other drivers know what to avoid. Real experiences save people real money. If this breakdown opened your eyes, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and watch the video on screen right now, where I show you the proven 17 habits that can make any car last over 500,000 miles. Trust me, your engine will thank you, and so will your wallet.